It's time for us to go to Overpass between NRG and LDLC. And when you look down the previous results, both teams are very favoured into playing this map. It's their kind of go-to picks here. One thing is the key difference is just the level of teams NRG's played in comparison to the levels of teams that LDLC has played. And that's mainly due to the fact that NRG is at more of these bigger events like Chicago and such. And LDLC aren't quite there yet. This is their chance to shine and make it work. Crazy thing is, though, this was the one that they even took Astralis to OT on. They ended up losing Overpass, and Astralis, to me, is one of the best teams on Overpass in the world. So
they're one of the best teams on every map in the world.
Yeah, to be fair, they've got the big... at this point, they've just got the biggest map pool anyway, so it doesn't matter.
No.
They just flex all day long.
Like, yeah, they're pretty good at that map.
Pretty good at everything. Just life. Just could see it.
Pretty good at Nuke, too, to be fair.
They're all right. They're
like,
Danish, you know. So
like,
that's just the...
You say that. North didn't prove that yesterday.
Our observer's Danish, though. Yeah. He may sound British, but he's just not very good on Nuke at observing. So come on,
I thought you were just going to say anything, but, you know.
He's giving us abuse in our ear now as well. But no, Nuke is the hardest map ever to observe. It is difficult. It doesn't help it with how the map lays out, being on top of each other and stuff. But
all right,
stop
backtracking.
No, I'm telling you,
stick to your guns.
I was sticking to my guns. See, if you didn't talk, you idiot, I would have been able to just end that with, but he's still bad at it. Like, Rush is better.
Oh.
he's so tricky. They just say don't disagree. There you go. There you go. Rush is the #1. Rush is #1 observer, but he is sleeping right now, most likely. Looking at the time, oh no, it's not actually too late. It's not 1 in the morning just yet. But let's focus back on the game before we derail this too far. I don't think result-wise we can look too much into this because NRG to me still, Nuke was better, but they're not playing the level of play we've seen them play across the board. It's like Summons and when we're looking at them in Pro League. But I would say they've got an advantage by a small margin going into this. Just the fact that LDLC probably knew they should have closed down Nuke earlier than that.
I think the other thing as well is that now they go into their comfortable choice. And although they're like both sort of like good teams at this map, I just think NRG are better. And the problem I have as well is this is a map where if I look at sort of competent AWPers across this map, like I'm looking at someone like Cirque, and I think he really could dominate this game if he plays anything like he did on Nuke. Because that's the thing, if you have a strong game on Nuke, okay, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to transfer into the next map. But at the same time, I wouldn't say like that map is even a map that a lot of AWPers like. Oscar doesn't even bother with his AWP. He gives it to Chris J's. I don't really fancy it on this map.
Not my map.
It's like he would rather have an XM. So it's one of those maps where a lot of the time you pick and choose, and like we saw from Twanu, like he didn't really have a good time. In fact, some of the AWP kills we saw from him were actually retaking A, which it really isn't the way you expect to see the AWP played. And he's another one where, okay, like we said, he wasn't like way down the bottom of the board, like underperforming, no. But we need more from that AWP on this map in particular. Like on the last map, I can give him some slack. Like really care, especially on the T side, AWPing on that map is horrible. But when you go into Overpass, finding those early picks, there's normally a lot of aggression coming out from the CT side to try and take some control. And when it comes to the CT side, that's where I really need to see him shine, especially if he's going to be around the sort of toilets area, looking for those early picks, going for the aggression in mid. If he's not succeeding and he's being countered, I think this will be over.
Well, we'll soon find out. I'd certainly say some of the main points that we have to look at as well as Amanek's been consistent. Logan's been in there as well. Still, these guys have brought it in. Toynu's the one we've got the big question marks around. And also, I want to see... The problem I have as well, remember, we watched them against Renegades, and that was not a pretty game.
No, they almost lost that.
Their T side was non-existent. What, 13-2 they ended up losing? It was just almost unacceptable at that point. They ended up bringing it back, right? I think it was like a 16-10 or 12.
Yeah, like they managed... I think they actually streaked 10 rounds in a row or something. Like that was... They had a really good comeback, but it was so poor that it didn't really matter. And that's the thing. On the other side of things, like we spoke about, oh yeah, they had a really good CT side versus North yesterday on Nuke. It didn't happen the same way in this map. It was actually a really strong T side coming out from NRG again. So it's one of those things where I just don't think that they could afford to make anywhere near the same mistakes. And the odds, well, those are firmly now in the favor of NRG. Obviously the favorites going into this one. And already Amanek is going to be dinked down with inches of his life.
Yeah, not an ideal start.
Did he get hit by a smoke?
Fugly just tapping it down as well. Breezy on to Alex. Logan's going to try and chime in with some of his own. He's putting up a good defense in connector, but he can only get 2. Deverduvek and Amanek, it's up to them now.
Yeah, left in a pretty difficult situation, one without any Kevlar, and both now dinked. Fugly's having an excellent pistol round even. Pixel shot, there you go. And Amanek with 4 HP. There's no hope here. He shouldn't have a chance. A single shot to the toe with a Glock will be enough to put him down.
One shots, all headshots, no problem. Amanek's got this. Oh, it just happens to him instead.
Yeah. Cirque's had enough of things going wrong in pistol rounds. He's going to put it down himself. And yeah, 1-0, NRG kick things off. Obviously, the one thing that I've always liked with LDLC is that when they've been able to start over on that T side, is if things don't go too well in that sort of initial round, they then force buy-in. And we see that quite a lot earlier on, able to get off to a good start at the beginning of the map. Now, this time they've started on the CT side. They can't take the same sort of risks. They can't go for force buys here. There's no chance for a bomb plant. And if they do plant the bomb, I don't really know what's going on there. At the same time, they do have a stack over on the B side, which is where all of these T players currently plan to go. The monster position is stacked to the brim. And actually, Twanu's going to kick things off. They're doing very well with these USPs. Maybe they're still going to look to try and do something in this round. Luckily, the MAC-10s are there, but Devaduvex found himself an AK. It doesn't last long. Even still, this is a hell of a lot of damage for a round where they invested nothing. Logan still trying to pull this through. It won't happen again. We talk about anti-eco rounds. We talk about Ethan.
Yeah. Over and over again, he managed to get it done. 3 kills with a MAC-10. He'll take that money in the bank. Not a bad round from LDLC, though, and with the extra kills, it helps them get a little bit more utility and just flex a little bit further into this round. They come in with a buy straight away. NRG should expect this, though. This is how LDLC have been playing. Toinu got his AWP in hand, but it's glass cannon, Tom. Scares me. Cirque's already on his, and Cirque will be looking for that jewel all day long. Toinu gets blinded out, falls back, it's going to rotate back round to long. Still more of a heavy B present here from NRG, but you can easily, on a map like Overpass, just jump straight in, go through connector and rattle round to the other side. So 1 minute 30 on the clock, still plenty of time for this to all go down. Are they going to get the boost on go as well?
Taking their time, definitely looking to try and find some sort of opener, but
and he saw him.
The slight miss, the slight drop down, and also that just the sound is normally enough to give away this position. It looks like they're going to give it another go. The CT side don't seem aware, and it's such a slight pixel angle, but there goes Ethan. Again, an opener for his side. Minute left on the clock as well, and the CTs may have to try and make some sort of play. They've got to be careful going anywhere near Monster because Cirque is just posted up. Set up like a turret with the AWP. They're going to utilize their smokes to section off this angle, keep him at bay, not allow him any presence back in. And Ethan definitely doesn't look like he's done just yet, wanting to try and take this face in towards the B site. Now with 30 seconds left, the T's do look pretty dedicated, but Breezy finding a kill on the other side of the map may make them want to switch things up. Cirque is also going to catch them rotating. In fact, was that 2 through the smoke? One of them was on the edge of it, at least. And now Twanu, no armor, an AWP, and then the rest is just not in his hands. And while it's sort of what we talk about maybe a little bit too often, Twanu's trying to save an AWP.
They're all barreling in towards him. They will finish him off. He only gets 1. NRG with a 3-0, and this is where money games become the problem for LDLC. That was a pretty poor round as well. Like, just no real impact, no real presence. That was NRG staying ever so dominant, and we didn't just have to rely on Cirque. Ethan getting that nice boosted pick. It's now certainly something LDLC are going to look out for. Yeah,
I think the biggest kill in that round was actually from Breezy on the other side of the map, because there was no way in hell that LDLC were just going to try and run out Monster if they knew that there were all those players waiting for them. Either that or they really have lost the plot. So it was basically because that kill came in the other side of the map. They thought, okay, we've now got to rotate. The rest of NRG were just sat there waiting. So a pretty crucial kill. Nice shot from Logan. Daps hits the deck. Ethan, as said, he's the anti-eco warrior, always making sure that they get through these rounds. And so many of them have been very close that you really can't take those frags away from him. A lot of the time it seems almost like a detriment to someone's stats when they're getting eco kills, but he really does make sure that they build up money and they keep these clean. It's left onto Amanek. Yet to get on the board. Don't expect that to last too long, and if it does, well, you really will worry for LDLC. He is the man who normally leads the scoreboard, the star of the show. In this case, he's just trying to hold to get a weapon. No chance of winning the round. I don't think anybody can question that.
By the way, I'm just going to go back to where you said anti-eco warrior for Ethan. That's like a title of a movie. That's a new frag movie. Ethan, the anti-eco warrior.
Yeah, I don't think he'd be too pleased with that sort of frag movie. Just him getting eco frags.
Oh. And he does finish it off.
Yeah, 4 kills for him again. Stat padding, 9 and 1, getting that HLTV rating up. But yeah, they're important kills. And there we go, straight in, double AWP setup. Cool. Do you want to make it 3, Amanek? do you want to make Banks triggered?
I'm going to just be massively triggered. Don't do it, Amanek. You are a smart man. The blue steel, you absolute. If it works, I can't fault it. But the fact they keep going to triple AWP setup on multiple maps is just—it's so questionable.
A lot of the time, it seems to be like more of a cheese round. But when it was like on cash, it was genuinely just their strategy.
Their play. Yeah, that was what they were doing. It was how they won.
The thing is, I would hope that NRG would be much better at counting this, especially when it comes to the B site. If you just rush B, I feel like that's pretty much done. Like, I don't know how you'd ever play that with a triple AWP.
Well, Amanek starts off with 1 kill either way, which means that he can walk away.
I can hear the pain in your voice.
Yeah, I know. That was an error and a half. I just punched up the desk and punched the wrong thing. Amanek, though, punching a little bit too high with that shot. Can he get any more done? Repositions himself. He's going to get blinded out. Goes in for the shot. Can't make it connect. And this means that NRG can move further forward. The molly's coming up, and Alex is taking some damage as well. Amanek's gunning to get second. Goes in for the third. Fugly can't see him above the flames. They didn't know what to do with him there. He's only got 2 more players to find. There's 4 CTs left here, and LDLC look to claim their first round, and they've still got 3 AWPs in play. But Cirque says, anything you can do, I can do better, as Breezy comes into it as well.
Oh, dear. Look at the flank, though. Twanu. Oh, Cirque just running around the corner. The Deagle AWP combo. Now Twanu, well, he needs some serious impact in this round of 1 versus 2. The thing is, getting back into this site, I just don't think it's going to be possible. The bank is covered off, and he's forced to save. It genuinely pains me how many times I have to say that with him. I don't think he actually made a bad play in this round at all, though. He was looking to come in on the flank. It was just that Cirque goes running into bank while his teammate's waiting and pops his head with a deeg.
But this is why I'm so against this triple AWP setup now, Tom, because... Okay,
then again, the third AWP was the one who got all the kills. Yeah. If you didn't have the third AWP, he wouldn't have got the first 3.
It's more his position than him being with the AWP in his hand, because no one else got a bloody kill, did they?
No, Banks. If he didn't buy that third AWP...
Stop trying to trigger me. I'm paying no attention to you.
You really are, though.
Triple AWP setup is not... Okay, anyone watching at home, triple AWP setup is very situational. It's never really recommended.
I think it's great. Best. You should just get 5.
This is why you are gold Nova.
That's not true. I'm probably unranked at this point.
Exactly. They're not even playing enough CS.
Yeah, it's all about COD.
Kill yourself.
I knew that one would definitely get you. Either that or Rocket League. I love ball cars. I'll be honest, I've never even played that game. But moving on.
I'm leaving you to this, mate. You're just digging this hole deeper and deeper. How are you a CSGO commentator? You don't even seem a fan of real good Counter-Strike here now, Tom.
No, I'm more of a fan of just triggering you. It's very fun.
Also, Alex had the spawn there. I'm surprised Tony didn't just flip that AWP over. Instead, he's going to push up long. They're looking to take a bit more of an aggressive push and a hold here. Alex with that 5.7's done some serious damage as well. We're seeing more of the 5.7's be used now. Oh, Breezy, he's just not missing a beat. Daps has taken off Amanek. Alex will get 1. Oh, nicely. And this is the 5.7 power. Close range. All the damage.
Hey, doesn't need the AWP. Ethan has made a sound. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Davidovec with the pistol removes his head and leaves it onto 2. It is Breezy and Cirque. Definitely not 2 players you can give too much of a chance, but Alex now catches the bomb. There's a minute left. There's still plenty of time for Breezy to make a move, and the one thing he does have is position. Just waiting patiently. Oh, he's going to let Logan pass. He's waiting for the second player. Slightly misses the spray, but he knows roughly where Logan is. I don't think he's actually seen him on the angle. Still finds the kill anyway. 40 seconds left to go running back towards that bomb. Now, Alex has picked up an AWP. Definitely not his weapon of choice. But the fact is, he may just pass him. And I think he's probably just going to finish him off with a 5-7. He does. 4 kills for Alex. A massive round from him. He even picks up an AWP for his teammate. And that means if they want to, Banks, they could even go for 3.
They probably will.
I don't think so. Not this time.
Ah, there we go. There we go. All right, so Toinu back on the AWP. Everything's gone back to normal.
Banks can breathe again.
I can now live happily.
Okay, let's not go too far.
nothing happy in my life, is there, really? Let's be honest. I'm sat here with you having to commentate the B stream.
Oh,
NRG, though,
wrong with the B stream.
Looking to try and reset LDLC. No, there's actually nothing wrong with the B stream. We've had sick games and I've enjoyed every second of it, even if you are an idiot.
Not going to disagree.
I love you still. Stroking your bald head.
I thought I was going somewhere else. A bit worried. Oh, that's very close to something dangerous there. You'd be put on the list.
Your head's close to something dangerous, okay.
No, just the sentence you said. Either way, the chance for the reset. The T side still with a little bit of money left, but not really anything they're going to be happy about. But Ethan is still just going off at the moment. He knows there's another player around the corner. He takes him down as well. Leaves it all onto Alex on the site. Ethan, he's not done. He's still pushing. He wants to try and find some more kills. Give him someone else to aim at because he's just not missing at the moment. Top of the board. 11 kills to his name. Well, the rest of the team are trying to turn this tide back. It's actually Alex at the top of the board at the moment. Not really something you want to see if you're an LDLC fan because it's normally the players of Amanek, maybe Logan to make the play, but Twanu, he has at least found one with the AWP. The fact is it is looking like a B-site play. Alex already slightly isolated, may just hold to try and give his team more of a chance in the retake. Push through, manages a first, the second not going to be there though. Ethan with the triple, looking for more, a 4th for Ethan as well. And there's only one man that stands between him and the ace, Twanu. Up above, I think he's gone. He's out of there once again, and I'm going to say that trusty phrase once again, Twanu saving an AWP.
How many times? It's the right decision to make. You can't fault it, but I mean, he's just struggling. Like, they're not going up against him at long. They're not coming towards him. The one round they did was when Amanek cleaned up on all the kills. So he's not had the chance to get involved and kind of make this happen.
They've had a lot of plays towards the B side.
But what are you supposed to do against someone like Ethan who will take a 3v1 duel? Oh no, there's 2 of them pushing him. Two pushing him from sandbags. And he was just confident with it. He wanted more. The great thing there was Ethan's smart enough to say, look, I don't need to overextend and I can still close this out. And he walks away with 4 kills. Ethan, Breezy, Cirque, these guys at any point can deliver.
Well, that's the thing. That was always the sort of like factor for NRG is that if those 3 players all play well, LDLC are screwed. Like there was no way that I feel like if those 3 players are playing to their ability, that there's anybody on this other side that compete.
Do you know what I think is? Like, if NRG win this 2-0, I am happy to eat my words and say that, okay, NRG, as the tournament goes on to later stages, they step up. And this is what you expect to see of a team like NRG who is playing against the more top-tier opponents on a regular basis. We're seeing them all the time at these events, right? There's not even making qualifiers anymore. You're getting invited.
And deservedly so as well. Oh, Ethan. He's looking for it again.
He's so hungry for it. He knows that he can just abuse these positions.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's a few players that just around that B site, they will just take that peak again and again and again. And until they're like punished, maybe even a few times in a row, he will just keep doing that. And that's going to be a problem for LDLC because it will either mean that, okay, they're just going to try and hard counter him, or that on the other side of things, they're going to try and maybe make plays that are a little bit over audacious on other parts of the map. We just saw a push through Monster from Alex. Adapts is going to say, well, thank you very much. I'll have that one all day long.
Never going to complain about a frag like that. Amanek holding around at the moment. He's looking for something, but they're all on the other side of the map as, once again, NRG favour this B bomb site. And rightly so, right? If you're having probably little to no problems of getting in. Actually, the only round where LDLC put up more of a defense on this B site was when they had 4 pistols inside of it.
Yeah, that's Yeah, pretty scary thing to look at, really, isn't it?
Because like you can't hold it on your buy rounds. You're getting domed when you're playing it standard. If you need 4 players to make it work, that means you're not just playing up to standard. As Breezy will find Amanek sneaking into connector, and again, just call for the save at this point for Toynu.
How many times has he actually died? 5.
5.
Well,
it's reasonable.
He's just going to be holding for any further aggression. Daps is going to fall. Of course, a lot of these rounds that we haven't seen a huge amount of money made for NRG yet, so it's not like the LDLC are too far in the hole at the moment. The real problem I have is when we watched them play before, even against Renegades, a team that, a much newer team, didn't have their coach either, and are not on the level of NRG, they had a poor T side. And they had an excellent CT side. So the fact that we've already got 7 rounds on the T side for NRG, it's very, very worrying.
Now, what is worrying here for LDLC is CT is where we've praised them the most.
Yeah,
It's their T side that is not just lackluster, was almost non-existent. They got 13-2, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, Renegades won 13-2 on their CT side. LDLC need to find a way to bounce back into this. And okay, it might be this round because we've got some upgraded pistols. Oh, yes, they're getting this one on go, which means Cirque's going to be able to... Oh, man. Oh, Breezy, you're letting the team down, son. Come on. There we go. Hops up, sees over the train, and no one's there. It's like all that, yep, please. Oh, no. It's a good boost. Doesn't always work, but it's no real huge investment, right? You're not going to see CTs push that far forward that they have to be overly cautious. Maybe someone pushes through Monster. Or Toynu does that coming through pipe after working his way through water.
That's what I've wanted to see from him when they don't have anything other than an AWP. Send him aggressive. They've been going over towards that B site so much. Give him a chance to make a play, and he does.
Do you reckon this is actually Toynu being a bit more scared of Cirques? Or like, you shouldn't be scared of a player, and I'm not saying like, oh, he's really scared of playing against him, but we saw him more aggressive in previous days than we have today. He's a bit more passive.
The thing is, I think, at least in this map so far, they've just been expecting eventually that NRG will go towards A. So I think after just the amount of times that they've gone B, they did just send him to go and try and get that early pick. But that's going to come down more to like the in-game leading than him himself, I think. Like where they're placing that up, where they want him to go aggressive. Obviously, I feel like if he just says, right, I'm taking it now. But at the same time, I don't know if we can put that all on him being fearful, because in this round, that's definitely not the case. Lots of aggressive positions. He's managed to find a couple of kills, and the pistols sat in the corner. They don't expect Amanek to be there. Only manages to get 1, but at the same time, if they keep these trades going, this could be their 2nd round on the board. And while it's looking like it now, nice shot from Cirque. But he's got no time. He has to get this kill very quickly indeed, and Alex will comfortably survive on the site. A 2nd from nothing. Some money made for LDLC, but of course, there's still a buy coming for NRG.
LDLC doing what they do best. They win the rounds that never seem possible, and Toynu was a big help in that. Thing is, he nearly got the play as well, and they were rushing out of bathrooms there to take him down after he got the 2nd kill. He scoped in, it was just unable to connect the shot. Now we've got weapons and a little bit of money on 2 players at least now for LDLC, but the reset they just can't afford to have here, because NRG, they've not got money for days, but they're in a good spot regardless. They've had the plants, they've had the pushes into sites. Ethan sprays back through, ends up doing more damage. Again, he's always playing from water, pushes up through a little bit of sandbags, but then never goes too far, right? He's just looking for that opener and then falling back, playing his position as he should.
Yeah, they really are stacking up the B site in this round. I can kind of understand it. Like, they really have been struggling to hold on to B. It seems like that's where the majority of the Ts are currently going. There's a temptation to rotate Twanu back, though, so 3 players ready and waiting here. Flashbang is going to go out, but a lot of utility being thrown down to just try and slow this. And while they're going to go straight through it, but it's a blind spray from Logan that nets him 2 kills. And the bomb also leading the way means that this is, well, basically impossible for NRG. It shouldn't be, but Fugly actually gets one through the smoke. Ethan close to catching the timing, but every single member of the LDLC side are ready and waiting on this site. Fugly still waiting around that smoke. He's actually going to go pushing through and, well, meets the same fate as the rest of the players. And LDLC, they've got their 2nd. in a row.
4 alive as well, and the money now builds. 8K up on Logan. He will have to reinvest into it unless there's a drop coming his way. But overall, they can be happy with how these last couple of rounds went. Winning that pistol round was the key factor, though, right? That gives you the extra monetary boost. Well, NRG, this would be the last buy, especially if they don't get a plant in here. And that shuts down this potential resets that they'd be looking to have. So is this LDLC's way back in? Have they started to come alive a little bit more?
Yeah, this buy from the T side really isn't a good one at all.
Yeah, we say that. This is similar to an LDLC buy.
They're not LDLC.
Ooh, shots fired. Well, I'm not saying nothing, to be fair, because LDLC have made these rounds look possible, look winnable.
They did get a couple themselves on nuke, but it was more on the CT side. That's fantastic from Cirque. That's an AWP as well. Ethan's going to be the one to pick it up. Cirque may be the AWPer, but he doesn't seem to mind.
He's like, "Oi, mate, give it back."
Look how this is. They've just changed things up completely. It's the push towards A. The CT side had 4 players on B. They killed the 1 player there, Amanek, far too quickly. And now just look how close all these players are. They're going to try and use these pistols, these SMGs, to their advantage. Nice shot from Ethan already to take down another. And the CTs have no choice. Yep. They've got to run away. They're punished for their over-stacking of this B site.
It's crazy.
That's
Absolutely
a great
crazy
read as well. That's a great read from NRG.
NRG just with the straight rush. You said something that might not work there, and they managed to get it done. Cirque opening it up. Ooh, that's shooting on the ladder. Doesn't often work, even with a CZ in your hand, mate.
I think it's more the fact of the way that LDLC were playing their rounds.
Yeah.
It's just that...
That's what we praise the most, right?
Yeah, it's that they were sort of over towards the B side. They were gambling so much because of what's been going on, because Ethan has been causing so much havoc for them on that B side, and because NRG have been pushing that so aggressively. They have had 4 players there almost every single round, and this time Amanek potentially played a little bit too aggressive. He was caught with his pants down, and that was round over.
Well, this is the rebuy from LDLC. It's a good one, but it would be the last one if NRG can pick this up. So, again, massive pressure on them. So you already see NRG, they don't ever go super aggressive early on in these rounds, right?
It's pretty much just
one of them slower maps that come into play.
Their play from the early rounds is pretty much give Ethan a chance to find an opener.
Yeah, even if you open up the B site, we'll go B.
It's
nothing else happens, we might go
Imperial,
B still.
or the Imperial that sort of just got destroyed. They used to play very much like this as well. It would just be Esperanto. Okay, try and find us an opener over towards his B site. If you don't, then we'll try and do something else. Obviously, I feel like for Imperial, it's much more of a clinical factor that he finds an opener, whereas with NRG, they do have other stuff in their back pocket as well.
Yeah, completely. You've got more star players to look at in this roster for sure. Toynu needs to hit the shots. He knows what's going on here, gets his first on to Ethan, but now the pressure we put on towards him. He goes to reposition himself here, and Fugly doesn't want to push into it just yet. Toynu in a really nice spot. Sees the jump. Fugly saw him as well, so they're both well aware of the positions as the nade goes out, but it doesn't do any damage. NRG down 1 man, but this is a good position from LDLC. Look, everyone is ready for this if they do dedicate themselves to this A site.
Yeah, this time the read is bang on. And the biggest problem at the moment for NRG is the time. 20 seconds up and coming on the clock. And
look at Devo Duvek's position as well.
Yeah, no, they have so well set up. Amanek ready and waiting. The smoke fades, so he actually goes a little bit more aggressive. And they do check, but they don't actually clear it properly. 12 seconds left. They have to go running. And while it's just a slaughter, Alex even gets himself a multi-frag of 3. And LDLC, they break back once again. And eventually NRG are going to have to take an eco. I wonder if this will be where they decide to do it.
Tell me if I'm wrong, but I think it was Fugly that took the lazy peek there, right? When he looks, he looks into bathrooms, but doesn't fully check it. And that's the problem. When you do the lazy peek, you can always get punished in a situation like that. It's just a quick one and he's not looked it all the way around, doesn't clear it, and actually that costs you to lose your life.
But it's more of an assumption that there's no one there.
Yeah, because in your mind,
he's already swinging back once he goes, ow.
He's like, oh God, no, no. It's that quick stretch of the mouse.
Well, it is going to be the hit taken this time from NRG. This one's all about damage. Maybe getting a bomb plant would be nice. In fact, Breezy actually really doesn't have much money at all. I wonder if they're going to have to go for a bit more of a double eco in this situation, because
they need the bomb, yeah.
They really don't have much cash, and while Amanek just farming at the moment. So much onto his stats. And yeah, they can't buy here really, unless Breezy and Fugly are going to be on like an SMG or maybe an AK without head armor. Could get a Galil, I guess, but no, they are going to go for it.
The fact is though, Tom, I honestly think the NRG have done enough just in this half anyway, right? Because not the fact that it's just T-side, but it's LDLC. Unless we see a dramatic change from them in how they play their T-side between 2 days ago and now, then I am very concerned.
The thing is, I do feel like this map could work for their style. Like the sort of like basic aggressive plays. This map allows for a lot of rotations, which his team really likes. But the more important thing at the moment is just the aggression they've got going on the CT side. It seems like they have gained a bit of confidence. I think that was the biggest issue. And with the fact that NRG have been so dedicated over towards this B site, to take such aggressive control into A, it just allows for the remaining players to actually rotate onto the site itself. They're going to have Alex as that third player. Grenade from Ethan looking to be set up. Try and do some damage, but there isn't anybody there. And this is perfect because basically NRG can't go anywhere. There's only one problem. If they do go back up through the connector, everything will just work out for them because the only problem would be Twanu in the backlines. And the other thing as well is even when there have been 4 players on this site, some of the time NRG have still been able to crack it.
And NRG will be looking to crack the B site once again by the looks of it. As the pointless train goes overhead. This time Fugly's going to be the point man. He goes down to Alex, but now they get an idea of the positions at least. Wide from Logan as he tries to spray it out, but he's going to get taken down. This is not looking good as we're into a 2v2. NRG again back in the sight. Toinu though, very nice shot onto Daps. Stops the bomb from going down, and now it's all onto Breezy, who's sat there, 46 health. AK-47, but Amanek, he's sneaking behind him. And he will finish him off. AK is going to be grabbed up as well. Only 2 alive, but they've got money in the bank on a lot of players, so this isn't the end of the world here for LDLC. Going into this last round, they're going to have to be getting in with their best buy going. And NRG, on the other hand, they're going to be in struggle city because no bomb plants over the last couple of rounds meant that this is the situation they've got in front of them. A MAC-10, a few CZs, and an AK-47. Decent amount of utility to play off of, and they did win a round like this, so it's not impossible.
Yeah, the fact is, though, from LDLC's perspective, you have to bear in mind they were 7-1 down. So this turnaround from them has actually given them a chance. It is just going to be the rush B. Logan, so much damage, but no kills go his way. Alex is on point to try and trade them out, but it's Devidovek to actually get the kill instead. He's managed to take control of the barrels. He doesn't even see Ethan go past. He just crosses around and finishes him off. Ethan has found a double. Cirque with another, and now Devidovek with everything left to do. He does manage the first, and look at the remaining 2 players. So low on HP. He's got to ace this if he's going to win them the round. Now he's on the edge of the smoke. It seems like Cirque has an idea of his position, but doesn't manage to connect. Still lots of time on the clock. They're going to look to peek him together, and that is smart from NRG. I feel like there were plenty of ways that they lost that round, but that was not one of them.
No, that was some great teamwork. That was the way you wanted to play that out. A round again that they should have never walked away with here, Tom. Now sees us with a 9-6 scoreline for NRG on their T side. Fantastic stuff for them. The question is now all on LDLC's T side. But we are going to go to a quick break before that. But do not go anywhere because we'll find the conclusion of this map. Will we be going to a third, or will NRG close us out 2-0? A solid half from NRG sees them 9-6 ahead, and look at the odds on your screen.
Oh.
If you want to visit esports.betway.com, that is where you can go and hedge your bets on who you think is going to take this. But LDLC, when their backs are up against the wall, they don't often give up. They always show full strength. But we're very questionable on what they can do here on their T side.
Already Cirque spots the majority of players in middle. They've got double presence towards long as well. This is a great setup for the CT side. Breezy manages a first. More coming in for him as well as he gets 3. Finally, there'll be 1 back in return, and actually a few more. This has gone back for the T side. A swing in this pistol round leaves it all onto Ethan. Not the way I expected that to go after Breezy gets the triple. And Cirque getting some flashbacks from the game versus MVP. But now the T side, they've managed to switch things up. They've rotated all the way around towards the B site. Ethan definitely not there to defend it. And as always, Team LDLC are going to get themselves that bomb plant.
(2v1) Ethan. Just got a smoke and the pistol in his hands. He does have a kit to play with. And they aren't aware of his position, but he did make that little splash in water, which is why he shook his mouse there. He was, I didn't want to do that. Drops the smoke down straight away. Bam, next position, rips his head clean off. 3 kills for him in that round, and LDLC do finally claim a pistol in this series.
I think they're almost going to be confused with what to do with the extra money that they've got, because they're so used to...
Tell a lie, they got it on Nuke CT side as well. Damn it.
Did they? Wow.
Bad memory by me, old man.
Normally, they have to force buy here. They've got themselves a lot of MAC-10s, looking to make that early cash. Of course, on this map, I do think the SMGs are fairly plausible when it comes to sort of aggressive plays, especially over towards that B side. I expect to see something like that in the next round. Of course, this round, wow, it's just straight USPs. We've got the other side of things just saving their money. There's going to be a bit of extra loss bonus coming in, of course. And I'm actually interested to see like if Breezy can get a kill here, because then he can get an AWP.
Ooh. Yeah, that'd be really helpful. Pass it over to Cirque. Give him a benefit going into that next round. Ethan boosted up, just ducks down. No one's checking him just yet. We got the double boost going on here, so a nice play coming out from NRG. Devaduvek takes a ton of damage, but he won't be finished off just yet. That nade goes over, and Ethan got to be careful now.
I like this. They're trying to set up the players that can have the impact. The problem is, on the other side of the map, everything is being cleared out. The Ts are slowly making their way forward, and well, ultimately this round is done. It's all going to be if they can just find a kill or 2, try and cause a few rebuys. Of course, on the T side at the moment, they do have all SMGs other than the 1 AK on Logan, so this is just going to be a chance for them to really make up some extra cash.
Farming.
It's actually Cirque to get the kill, so it doesn't really help in terms of that AWP, although it does mean he can actually get 1 glass cannon, so it does help in that regard if he wants to go for the risk. Now, we saw Twanu do that in the previous half. I wouldn't be overly surprised if Cirque did it here, but he does seem a little bit more willing to go for a rifle at the same time and maybe make a bit more of a sacrifice to get utility.
Yeah, something that could work out for him. Daps, look at this point, just looking to try and grab himself a weapon, but he will be finished off, so the MAC-10s do a lot of damage there, bring all the money back in, and Amanek with a bit of the BM slash in the body. You can, well, we hear this already, right, on the other side of things. There are lots of screams going on from the LDLC side again. You can still hear them on the other stream.
I like it, though. I love the passion.
I'm down for it.
From this team, either way. We've seen the investment come in. The AWP pulled in onto Twanu, and they get an extra AK in there as well, just to have that sort of safety factor. The AWP is also in onto Cirque, but this is what I said in the last round. I expect to see a faster play in towards the B site. Use those MAC-10s where they are valuable. Some nades being thrown out as well, and Ethan just gets dunked down to 19 HP. But look at that one, right back in from return. Still though, Alex, there we go, running and gunning, using that MAC-10. There's that kill onto Ethan as well. Daps trying to save them, but he can't do too much.
Save.
And the CT side, as you said, they're gone.
They got to save now. There's no option in that. It was a good effort from Ethan there, considering all the damage that went his way. His nade did a lot, but the rest of his team could not be there to clean it up and pick up the pieces. So straight away here, if you're potentially LDLC, you throw maybe Devaduvek and Amanek now just to go hunt them down and try to take the weapons out of their hands.
Yeah, give them a chance to find them. I love seeing like double nade, triple nade setups. Like, it's probably one of my favorite things to watch in like the whole of Counter-Strike, because it just shows the sort of thought process of a lot of these teams. Obviously, Astralis bringing them in to just like basically just kill off a player for $900, which obviously it's pretty temperamental because you're relying on somebody actually being there. But there are a few players that, well, if it works, it's fantastic. And even there, like, they got Ethan down to 19 HP.
There's some real key maps as well where it can work, where you're literally, it's a 50-50, maybe even 60%, where they're probably going to be in that area or around it where you can do some deadly damage. And also with mollies now as well, get a molly in, force them to stay in that corner. Or if they drop the smoke down, then you nade it afterwards. Oh, there you go, you're gone. Either way, 9-9 is the score. Only 2 weapons saved over, which was good for NRG to be able to do, right? LDLC didn't want to go hunting for it. But LDLC, they're large and in charge, at least in this round. And they rightly so need to be, because it's all on the line. Remember that if NRG win this, they go to the playoffs. They make it to quarters.
Yeah.
If LDLC lose this, they're done and dusted. They have to get Overpass here. They couldn't win their own map choice. And, oh, Breezy. That wasn't too good from Daps. They should have been a little bit more on point looking up. The crossfire does work out in the end, but that's all it's going to do. Is Devaduvek's actually lurking around there still. Daps hasn't moved up to pick up the weapon just yet. So he does spray out one. Logan through the smoke finds Daps as well, so it's looking strong for him as Cirque and Ethan are the only ones left alive now. And Cirque, again, will probably look to save on to that AWP, because unless he pulls off some incredible heroics here, it's going to be very difficult for him to do, as Toinu, well aware that he could be sitting in bank, and finds the Opa. And that makes them move into the site no problem at all. Ethan, all up to him. Grab it and run.
Oh,
it's so far.
Oh, they'll spot Twanu, but that means Twanu also spots him. LDLC, they've taken themselves the lead after the follow-up rounds, but this is where the big boy buy comes in. Max loss bonus for the CT side. They'll have plenty of cash to juggle around that AWP, get a large amount of utility. This is the first proper buy we've seen for the North American side, so this is where things really kick off. Of course, so this is where we talk about, again, how good LDLC are at actually making a bank. It's only been 4 rounds in a row, and they've got 8,000 on Logan, 8,000 on Amanek, and a few with the 4Ks as well, so plenty of cash for rebuys. So it's going to take a couple for NRG to break them. And already, look at the control they've gathered. Long has already fallen, and they're running all the way through it.
Yeah, no defense being shown here from the CT side just yet. Fugly playing it passively. Cirque's going to maneuver around with him, and they're still looking the wrong way. Now they'll have an idea of what's going on. Cirque straight away to reposition himself. Oh, but he lands on top of the molly, goes in for the pop shot. Doesn't eat too much damage and still can't make the shots connect. They're the ones he has to be able to try and hit when the pressure's on. Can't even get the boost on go at the moment, as he will now start to look over. Bomb still not being planted. Breezy's found a kill, but he's instantly traded out here as LDLC swarm into this A site, and it's been a struggle now for NRG to try and hold on. Good smoke plays. LDLC still not comfortable to try and get the plant. Finally, Devaduvek's going to try. It's just a back and forth here of who can bundle into the site the fastest. Toinu able to save Devaduvek there. But this is 2 touch and go. Very scrappy from both sides.
And it's not looking good now. The bomb still hasn't been planted yet, but they are going to fall back into a more passive position, and they get that open plant, which they so desired as well, knowing where the remaining players are in Daps. I think he's missed the opportunity there. A couple of heads popped into vision, and instead we see these remaining players just falling back, holding on to these passive spots. Now, there are a couple of smokes here for NRG. They can look to try and maybe create a bit of a wall to defend off this bomb, get themselves on towards the plant. Nice shot from Daps, will at least get an opener. Cirque finished off another, it's left all onto Twanu, and he's missed the shot. The bomb's already being defused. There's nothing he can do now. And NRG, it looked like they were out of it there, but they managed to clutch the round.
That was so poorly played from both teams up until the last final parts there. And NRG, they managed to get it done, but LDLC are going to be thinking, what on earth? They should have planted that bomb like 10, 15 seconds earlier.
The thing is,
they were just so scared of pressure.
That's not even the problem, because even when they did get it down, They're in a 3v2. They had the passive positions. They just didn't trade. Like, Daps went aggressive and was just able to get both of the kills towards... Well, he got the first, and then Twanu was just too far away to do anything about it. So, yeah, definitely some mistakes in the after-plant positions. Still plenty of money, and the bomb plant even adds further cash into the bank. So this definitely isn't done just yet. Ethan's actually going to be left with half HP on the secondary AWP. So in a fairly aggressive position. I wonder if he was hit by utility again. It seems to be a bit of a problem for him at the moment. He just attracts the grenades. He's got magnets in his pocket. Fugly definitely not having the best of games so far. He played very well on Nuke. A lot of impact frags there, but yet to do the same on this map. And on the T side, that wasn't so much of a problem because they had players really running away with it. Alex is going to be in with the boost. Daps has to be careful, and he's going to be picked off. Allows that man advantage into LDLC. And, well, one thing we mentioned quite a bit yesterday is when LDLC do get the advantage, it's quite rare that they throw it away.
Well, they threw it away last time, but now they're repositioning. They're not going to focus on the site they got the pick from. They know they've got the site split, and with 5 alive, it makes it difficult for any CTs to hold on. Logan's going to be waiting on Connect to see if anyone's going to push back through. Breezy, though, in a good spot. Waiting for any pushes to come through.
That's a problem, though. That kill coming in from behind is actually going to be a change of pace. Breezy at least manages to find one, but the rotation has to be fast from the CT side if they want to go for this. And by the looks of things, I think they're just abandoning the round. That kill was so integral as now the Ts have this A site all under their control, and straight away, without a second's notice, NRG are in for the save.
The best way to do it, right? You got a round that you didn't expect to win because you were so far out of it at that point, and LDLC had forced their way in. No problem with taking the save here because you've got to play the smart economy game. Especially when LDLC now, at least on their T side, have come alive a little bit, but Cirque losing that AWP. Less than ideal. Ethan still has one. Breezy's position now going to be known, though, as he's taken the AWP out of their hands. So look, this is a little just swap around, and Devo Duvek's going to be kicking himself about missing that one. Breezy getting it done.
Oh, he's just going to try and hide. He actually finishes off another player, so they've made this costly, and it's so close for Logan to get that final frag, but not quite to be. The CT side, you almost have to think that they're going to go for something here. Breezy could drop the AWP and buy himself a rifle. I think that's exactly what he's going to do. It will be Fugly and Daps to have a bit of a weaker purchase, but you've got your 3 star players, your 3 men who do the heavy lifting on this side and currently are doing the heavy lifting, all with weapons in their hand. Daps as well, I would say, actually been playing better with the CZ a lot of the time. I think he is able to get a fair few kills with it, so I wouldn't even say that this is that bad a purchase. Breezy actually goes for the utility over getting the M4 in hand, so will still be a little bit of a detriment here, but this is a great opportunity for LDLC. They are really showing that maybe that T side they had against Renegades was a bit more of a one-off.
And that's the thing, right? It could have just been Renegades having that really good, solid play there that made LDLC's T side look that bad. This is now getting to this closer game, and we spoke about this, though, in the pregame, that both these teams kind of end up being evenly matched in a couple of different ways here. Toinu, now on the AWP again. He's been a bit better coming into Overpass, but still not what we need to see from him.
Well, again, another integral round in this matchup, a chance for LDLC to completely reset NRG after only managing to win 1 round so far in this half. They had a pretty strong T side, but haven't seen much of them since. Ethan's going to be set up with the secondary AWP over on this side, but it leaves them with a little bit of a hole in their defense. And just look at the straight push through. They're not ready for it. Devo Duvek just takes them down from short, and I think they almost have to save again.
They're even so confused that the CTs were still not in the site, right? There was only 2 there because Devo just busted in and was like, yep, just going to wreck these 2 because they're not looking the right way. That they're expecting someone else to be involved. They're expecting someone else to be sat around. LDLC getting away with it again. And that's an entry and a half from Devo Duvek. That all worked out perfectly for him.
Yeah, that was just the key timing. And while I speak of key timing, Alex and Logan work to close out this round. It is going to be that hard position now for NRG. No money left. We saw them with a strong game earlier in the day after a comeback from MIBR to take it over the line. But at the same time, they really are with their backs against the wall here. They'll get at least 2,400 going into the next round. That will be enough for a bare bones purchase. No AWP in the hands of Cirque, which is yet to really shine over on the CT side. In fact, it's not really been anybody shining on this CT half. Well, at least on the CT side. Wow, out of the last 7 rounds.
Fugly's one player that really dropped off here. He had a solid game of just playing his role, playing his position on Nuke, and onto Overpass. He's now only managed 5 frags, and we're on the 23rd round here. So it's a player that certainly NRG want to become alive again, at least here. Zamanek starts to make his way through Monster. No one is here just yet, but little do LDLC know.
Yeah, the big problem as well from NRG is that a lot of the reads they've been having over the last few rounds have all been wrong. Like, a lot of the time that is down to just luck, but we saw them go for a fairly open setup when it came to the B site. They only had 2 players, and neither of them were looking towards short. This round, obviously, they've gone for the gamble into mid. Unfortunately, all of the remaining players over on LDLC have actually gone into B. I like the fact that there's multiple times now where they've taken the bomb into the site and just not wanting to plant it. They've just thrown it on the floor and just given it to someone else to do the work while they try and get the eco frags. Twanu, he's looking to pad his stats a little bit. Has been having a much better game than we saw in the last.
Well, he just consistently gets 1 or 2 frags, but like we said on Nuke, it wasn't the impact frags. It wasn't the ones that were going to be a round changer where he can get a lot done. So LDLC now on their 13th round here, and it's literally just Breezy and Cirque with a bit of Ethan in there as well, kind of getting these rounds out the way for him. Both Daps and Fugly struggling quite massively here, and we see a timeout come in from NRG. Oh, wow. Do you know what? I've never really looked closely. This is just going to sound stupid, but I've never looked closely at the NRG logo. It looks in between like a fidget spinner and a Beyblade.
I'd just say more just of a Beyblade, I think.
I now need to see a GIF of someone spinning an NRG logo for me.
Yeah, just actually, that'd be kind of cool, an NRG Beyblade. I miss those. I don't even know if they're still a thing.
Yeah, my son's not really old enough to play Beyblades yet, so if they are feeling
always old enough to
no, imagine if a 2-year-old trying to rip off a Beyblade. That would never work.
He can watch.
So I get to have all the fun.
Yeah,
okay,
basically.
I'm down with that. That's a lot of Paw Patrol and Peppa Pig.
I bet you do that. I bet you buy toys that aren't actually for your kid.
I bought him a 4 hammer and I just get hit with it.
I can completely understand, to be honest. Oh, that's a shame. Well, T-side gonna go look to push into B once again, and again it seems like they got the wrong read over on the other side. There's only 2 players ready and waiting. It is Ethan and Breezy, 2 players you'd want to have in this position, but again it's Devaduvek. He had a quiet start to this game, but it's another double entry into the B site, and it just seems too little too late. They're going aggressive on A, they're trying to take these fights, and LDLC, they're fine going into the B site. It's another hugely advantageous position, but there's been some damage done, and Cirque finding that frag actually makes this one a little bit more open. There's a quick rotation coming in. The fight is a little bit of a messy one. Devaduvek just about surviving with 19 HP, although Fugly has to be careful. He can just be a bit of a distraction here, though. Try and bait out the shots while the rest of his team push in. The problem is Cirque has met his doom as well, and that just calls for the save. Yeah. It is going to be 14-10. LDLC, they looked like they may have been out of this one after not having a particularly good CT side. They now sit 2 rounds away from taking us to a 3rd map. Yeah,
LDLC, they've exploded into this now. Devaduvek, though, what an entry now. This is 2 rounds that we've seen him just open up. Wrecking the faces of NRG. And this is where, like, what do you do with your NRG here? Yes, you've got another timeout, you've got 1 more remaining, you may as well use it, but this is just such a problem. We saw so much B hits come out from NRG when they're on their T side. LDLC saying anything you can do, I can do better.
Almost.
Well, they are doing it better.
They're
currently 4 rounds ahead.
I meant you getting the quote right, but, you know, that too.
Shut up. Sit down.
I don't want to sit down.
I'll make you sit down.
Go on, then.
Go on, then. That was the most British lad you've sounded for a non-British lad as possible.
What do you mean? I'm very laddie.
All right, middle class over here. Shut up.
We basically come from the same background, you know. I grew up on the streets, as you could tell by the accent. Anyway, 14-10. It is going to be the force buy-in for NRG. They're giving it a go with what they've got. No AWP still in play. It's not really been a factor. They tried it with doubles and it didn't work out for them there. It's again going to be a faster play straight down long. Fugly in the open, but he's got some help. Cirque, he's a bit of a surprise. I don't know why Fugly's still hanging around this area. It's not a great place to be, and well, because of that, he will be traded out. Now, bear in mind, they still have some weaknesses within their weaponry. It's not the best case scenario for them. They do have a man advantage, though, and Cirque's still looking to try and play aggressive. He's got to be careful he's not caught out. He's got some support. They have actually walked past Amanek. They meet Devidovek, and he's going to take himself the kill. The problem is, Daps is still in this area, but he can't take that same battle. And just look at Amanek's just walked past him. This is going to be so confusing for Ethan. Still, though, he does manage to spot the man out. Amanek left on just 9 HP. Surely he's going to be pincered in by Daps, who has absolutely no clue. But he's actually got it wrong. Is he going to spot?
Oh, no.
Oh, it was all about timing there. Just about managing to find the frag. They're still going to deal with Ethan on the side, but that's exactly what Alex will do. Breezy, in the meantime, is finally making the rotation on towards the site. Alex trying to wrap around, but that's dropped the bomb. That's a problem. 25 seconds left. Now, Devidovek has been excellent over the last few rounds, but they need a little bit more from him here. Into the 1 versus 2. Breezy just holding the angle, waiting, but Devidovek finds the frag. He might be able to run onto the B side. I think he's just about got enough time to actually get onto the site itself. His opponent should know, though. He's got to try and make this as safe as possible, and he's just got it. The plant will go down. Back into the 1 versus 1, knows that Daps is going to be above, takes the peak, but Daps will put an end to it. Devidovek, a nice attempt, but not quite there. Even still, there's plenty of money for the T's to bounce back, and all the pressure's on NRG.
Well, Fugly did manage to get off 5 kills. He's now got 6, and then they win a round. Woo! Well, it's all about contributing in any way you can. 14-11, though, and LDLC still ahead, but NRG, they managed to claw out that round. And now, this buy is actually pretty reasonable for NRG. It's not the end of the world by any stretch of the imagination.
If they lose this, though, it probably will be the end of the map.
Massively.
Again, still money for LDLC, even going into the next one. Devidovek with 6,800. Definitely seen a better performance from them. But can they close it out? If they let this slip now, they really will be kicking themselves after the first map went to overtime. They can take it to the 3rd, take it to train. Definitely give us the series we were hoping for. Here we go, though. Aggressive push, looking to find a way into the connector. Daps is ready and waiting for Alex and does manage the first, but the second isn't going to be there. A trade for the T's isn't bad at all, and Logan's managed to pick off a second. Ethan can't really take this fight, but Fugly, he almost burst into action. Now, he's done a lot of damage. He's given a chance for the remaining 2 players, but they're backing away. This is what happened last time. Last time we saw the rotation from LDLC, and now NRG have tried to make the read that, okay, maybe they're going to do the same thing again. The fact is, though, they haven't.
Breezy, tell Ethan to run back. You've got so far into this site, you've heard nothing. Come on. Logan done so well to get the triple there as well. In connector, just working off the refrags. It didn't matter what NRG threw at him. He was able to deal the damage, find the kills. And yeah, this will just be the save, surely. There's just no point in trying to go for this.
Yeah, it is. It's not really that much of a save. Hopefully, Ethan can at least upgrade that SMG into something a little bit more pretty. But the fact is, LDLC have sort of created the problem. It's now 15-11. And the CTs are going to be playing with the bare minimum here. The loss bonus is at 0. And that's sort of the way that this half has actually gone. The 2 rounds that we see actually won by the CT side, there was no follow-up to it. And that was the problem that North actually had on Nuke yesterday. They were never able to actually just consistently win rounds versus LDLC. They were excellent at just breaking back.
Well, this could be the last round here on Overpass as LDLC, they're large and in charge. They haven't got the problem of NRG being kitted out to go head-to-head of here. Cirque's even having to opt for a scout. And this is the problem that NRG now face. Can they get it done? Can they claw these rounds away? LDLC on their T side started to impress so much more here as well, as they go to their standard plays out of positions. Ethan back being boosted up.
Twanu waiting to see if anybody will go aggressive into that mid spot. Not looking like the case for now. Much slower round for LDLC. Now, in the sort of rounds that they've been hugely successful, actually it's been the pace of their play that's really caught NRG off guard. And these sort of rounds are still a chance. Missed shot from Cirque won't gain them anything just yet. He's still trying to go for a little bit of a jump scout, but isn't going to find anything. It's more the spot from Fugly, and he does manage one. The question is the trade going to be in? Logan has been the trade machine, and, well, he's just going to push straight through. Gets them that kill right back. It's only an SMG loss, so it's not really the end of the world just yet for this CT side, but look at the rotation. The T's are going right around in towards the B site. It's actually where the majority of the weaponry is held on this CT side. 40 seconds left on the clock, and they still pretty much stand in their spawn. They've got to make their decision, and they've got to make it quick.
Yeah, it's do or die for NRG on so many levels here. As LDLC, they know they've got the control, they just don't have too much information to play off. Oh, one scout shot does drop Amanek quite low. Daps does a lot of damage himself as well, so this is something they can work with, but as Cirque falls, this could be all over. Breezy needs to do some serious damage here as he sprays out against Logan, finding one, gets the second as well. Breezy's keeping those hopes and dreams alive, but Amanek will close it out. LDLC goes 16-11 here on Overpass, and they were looking strong. That was a full team effort as well, Tom. That was not like
a full T effort as well.
Yeah, and that's it. Yeah. The T side actually came into fruition this time.
I don't know what happened, like, from when they played Renegades, but that was a fantastic T side, and they never really gave any chance for the money to be built up for their opponents. So yeah, LDLC, they've taken us to the third map. This series is going to go the distance, and it will be finished on train. And the fact is, they now have a chance to actually eliminate NRG from the tournament and get through into the playoffs.
LDLC winning a qualifier and then going to the playoffs would be an absolutely amazing storyline to see here at Chicago, and it's one we've had the pleasure of commentating most of their games throughout this. Fair play to LDLC so far. And do you know what? I think I finally found a Logan that I can like. Because the only other Logan I know is Logan Paul, and he seems like a horrible human being.
What about Wolverine?
Yeah, he's not real, but yeah, Wolverine's a badass mother.
Yeah.
I won't finish the rest of that off.
What do you mean he's not real?
Oh, I just crushed all of your reality there, Tom.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Damn it. I thought I was going to get superpowers.
Ah, you are superpowered.
I've got like the Xavier look anyway.
Is that what you'd go for? Would that be your chosen skill?
That'd be pretty cool. Reading minds. Like maybe I could read the game a little bit better.
Maybe NRG could do that as well.
Yeah, well, they've got the chance on train, of course. It's not like this is over by any stretch of the imagination. They're going on to another map that they will be feeling pretty confident on, another map where we expect to see good things from the AWPers, of course. Cirque in the sort of middle ground of this match, and, well, actually only managed to get more kills than one person over on the other side, and that was actually Devaduvek, who was fantastic towards the end of this game. Like, really impactful in opening up the sights, and nobody really able to counter him, in all honesty.
Well, counters did not come into play, but we're going to go to a quick break, Tom. And when we come back, we'll find the decider of who's going to the playoffs and who will be going home between NRG and LDLC.